Welcome to Family Wheels. Is this a family car? Of course it isn't. It's the 2021 Mazda MX-5 RF. That's the convertible hardtop. And why are we driving this on Family Wheels? I'll give you a bit of advice. If someone ever offers you the chance to drive an MX-5, take it. Let's go for a ride. Now, when I said of course not about this being a family vehicle, I meant it in the sense of hauling two parents and at least one child for errands, kids' activities, or vacation. But there is a case for the MX-5 in some family situations. More about that later. First, let's get in and go for a drive. Well, one of the truly enjoyable things you can do in a sports car, like our MX-5 here, is to go for a drive on a lovely spring evening. Let's do that now. Now, Mazda offers an automatic transmission in addition to the 6-speed manual we've got here. My point of view is twofold. One, there's no loss of performance. And two, if it helps sell more of these things, so much the better, because the sports car is an endangered species. The ride is jittery, particularly compared to its predecessor, the NC, which was a heavier vehicle. But that's what you sign on for. And I found that after a number of days of driving this generation of the MX-5, that you definitely get used to it. The seats are lovely. They just get right in there and hold you. Not many adjustments to the seats. They don't really need them. It's got a lot of suspension travel. That means a fair bit of lean in the corners, but that does not detract from the handling. And as a bonus, it gives you better bump absorption, if you will. All right, let's pull up onto an on-ramp and just show you how well it sticks to the road. Nothing too adventurous, third gear, but we're going to fling it around this turn and accelerate. And it just sticks. In 2019, they upped the horsepower to 181. Torque was up a little bit to 151, but from my experience in driving the previous model, the NC, this just has a lot more pull from lower revs. In other words, you can lug it a bit, even though it's a 4. You couldn't do that with previous MX-5s. They really needed to be rode around a lot and kept at a higher rev range. And one of the cool things about this 50-50 weight distribution and those fairly small 205 series tires is if you have to back off in a corner like this, again, no drama. The tail end comes out a little bit, like just moves a little bit. I don't mean like it snaps. And that's a very confidence-inspiring feeling. Also, it's just plain fun. The car rotates a bit. Let's do it again. Now I'm going to back off the gas. Hardly had to correct it all. Maybe a couple of inches on the steering wheel. So if you're not an experienced performance driver, you're still going to have a lot of fun. It's not going to be terrifying, and it's not going to put you in a ditch. The MX-5 is sports car loud inside, despite the RF having a noise-absorbing headliner. At highway speeds, the cabin sound level is well into the 70 decibel range, depending on speed, whereas luxury SUVs are typically in the mid-60s. And keep in mind that the decibel scale is parabolic, not linear. And in the automotive world, noise is just one component of NVH, noise, vibration, and harshness. No one's ever going to mistake the MX-5 for a family hauler, but let's see what we can get into its tiny trunk. We're not even going to try to put our usual stroller in the back of this thing. Let's just try for the grocery bags. And here's our usual 3. Oh, ta-da, they fit right in. And if I arrange the groceries a bit, maybe my camera backpack, which substitutes for our regular backpack today, will also fit in. Let's see. And again, success. The MX-5 is obviously one of the great getaway cars, but what can you fit in it luggage-wise if you want to take a trip? Here's a soft-sided bag I've used on many trips. It fits under airplane seats and overhead bins quite neatly. Let's put it in the MX-5. And right away you can see there's a problem with that, the flat tire repair kit and such. Here is an overnight bag that Mrs. Detman uses, and it should go in just fine. So there's easily enough luggage for a weekend away. What are the minimum needs of the driver and passenger? Well, it's an open-top car, so you want to take sunglasses and a hat. There's a hat. Here are my sunglasses. It's a car in 2021, so you'd better have your smartphone with you. And even though wireless charging is available, well, we don't all have the latest wireless chargeable phones. Mine is quite old, so bring a charging cable as well. And don't forget your wallet, because your wallet's got your driver's license in it and possibly your credit card. Where does it all go? There's a very nice little cubby down here under the HVAC controls for the phone. By the way, there is wireless Apple CarPlay, but not wireless Android Auto in the MX-5. In the previous generation of the MX-5, there was a little mesh pocket down here, and then something called the multi-pocket up here. You could certainly put your wallet, maybe your sunglasses, down in the mesh pocket. That's gone. So where's your wallet going to go? It's going to go on top of the phone, perhaps. More likely, it's going to go into a little cubby back here, which is basically your only sizable storage space that is easily accessible. So we put it in there. Same with the sunglasses. There is a little storage pocket in here that holds, as far as I can see, nothing substantial. This is a regular glasses case, and it won't fit in here. It simply won't close. So what do you put in there? A pen? Perhaps a tire pressure gauge? Not much can go in that little space. So once again, we end up putting the sunglasses back there. The hat, well, the hat can go in here. The hat can also just simply slide down the side. In the absence of a mesh pocket or a fold-out pocket on the 2021 MX-5, I just started slipping things in on the side of the seat, and they hold there. The MX-5 interior is snug but comfortable. I'm 180 centimeters or 5 feet 11 inches tall and maybe had an inch or two of headroom. The only option on our top-spec GT model is the lovely white Napa leather at $400. A forward-facing child seat can be mounted in this car, but you should consult the MX-5 owner's manual online. The manual says there are no ISOFIX mounts, but there is an upper anchor bracket. And check the child seat section of the motor vehicle laws in your jurisdiction. The American Automobile Association has summaries for Canada's provinces and territories and U.S. states. Find it at drivinglaws.aaa.com. So who is this car for? Well, it's for people who have always wanted a sports car and have never had the nerve to pull the trigger and buy one. Who else is it for? Well, empty nesters, bucket listers, divorced dads, women of a certain age who are financially independent. The MX-5 can be a young person's car, but they tend to be used rather than new because the younger folks can't afford them. While testing this car, I actually met a family man who owns a current generation MX-5. He bought it this year. It's an automatic that both he and his wife enjoy driving when they're not using the, you guessed it, minivan. He says their tween daughter only wants to ride in the sports car and adds that it runs great in the snow if you put winter tires on it. Quite an endorsement. My verdict is that the MX-5 RF is preferable to the soft top shown here, despite having terrible rear quarter visibility. It's quieter, sleeker, and more secure, and its safety suite helps overcome problems with doing a shoulder check. but it's a second car at best. And for those fortunate enough to have the money, it'd be a terrific third car. That's our look at the 2021 Mazda MX-5 RF GT. Definitely a break from the usual around here, and it's been really enjoyable. What do you think? Leave a comment. Thanks for subscribing, and thanks for watching. I'm Richard Detman. See you next time on Family Wheels.